All right, after much practice, I will pause at the beginning of that because I've had so many lives where the video on my mouth is wide open. So hopefully that records pretty good. Hey, hey, hey. I'm just jumping on here. How is everyone doing? I'm so excited to see you. I have a special guest coming on today. She just sent me a message and soon we'll get her on, but today we're gonna have a little conversation and see if we can pick up the mood from our gray day outside. So hope everybody's doing good. While you're on here, the people that are jumping on here, put in the comments where you are from so I know where everybody's at in the world. I don't do lives as much on here as I used to, but today we'll just wait and see. Again, let us know where you're from. Wendy's jumping on. It worked! Yay!
Excellent. Wow.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm pretty good, pretty good. Thank you. So thanks for joining me today, everybody. This is Wendy. Wendy is doing the 12-week Start Strong program, and I thought, no better way to share. Everyone asked what the program is about, and I'm like, well, let's just get somebody who's actually doing the program, and you're living it. Do you want to share first where you're from?
I'm from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. So same town here as Jody right now.
That's neat. Awesome. Yeah, so just share a little bit about maybe how you come across the program, what pulled you in, and what were some things you were looking to work on?
I've been following Instagram for a while, like I'd say months. So
Yeah.
somehow it came across my feed. I follow other exercise videos, and the reason I started following is because it was something different.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that the flow within the workouts feels to me like a choreographed dance between like me and the bell, and kind of getting to know the kettlebell and how it moves with me. So watching you do it and then just becoming curious, honestly, I thought, oh, this is going to be way too expensive. But I reached out, as you know, kind of gave you a bit of my story and
Mm-hmm.
wanting to stay strong, wanting to do the right things as far as weight bearing and also like jumping now, but not necessarily skip rope or that kind of thing. So I reached out and here we are, and I'm in week 7, which is my sort of halfway point, and yet I love it. I love, love, love it.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, so that you're at your halfway point. So you are in the kettlebell now, right? So your first part was body weight. How did you navigate through that?
As much as the kettlebell, I do also like the body weight because obviously I can carry myself into every place that I go. So if I'm away, and I did happen to be away on holidays right in the midst of the program and wasn't ready to heave my kettlebells onto the plane with me,
You're not ready for that yet?
like I'm sure you would. So the body weight, I think what those first 4 weeks did for me was to teach me how to move my body weight in ways that make me strong but don't hurt,
Yeah.
if that makes
Yeah.
sense. So again, I think
Absolutely.
that there's a ton of stuff out there that we can read about or see on a video, but it's not necessarily keeping us safe and keeping like it kept me within my limitations of my body as opposed to dreaming about having somebody else's body, because this is what I have, and it's awesome. So
Yeah.
that's what I like about the body weight, and I can do it in a park, I can do it while waiting for somebody, I could do it in the airport waiting for my plane to take off. So I love the body weight as much as the kettlebells. In fact, probably more because I'm more familiar with my body at this point than the kettlebells. But I am so thrilled to make that relationship, which sounds ridiculous, but between me and my flow and into the bell, so that yeah, we're working together, as opposed to in the past when I've tried weightlifting, I feel like I'm working against the weight, if that makes sense. So then
Ab-
I don't continue, because it doesn't feel good in my body. I've strained my neck and shoulders before, whereas this is a flow that I feel like I'm creating.
Yeah, that's awesome. That doesn't mean that is like me. That resonates really like with me 100%. Is the movement with the bell. We were talking. I had a lady in Dubai. We were talking about the other day. We were doing movements with like as you do a clean, as you know, like taking a step forward or something. So you become a unit together, right?
Hmm.
So you're strengthening in that moment. So it definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
So, what do you think? What surprised you the most in the last 7 weeks? Was there something that was like, oh, that's, anything pop up?
Yeah, when I've watched the videos that you've done, I've thought, well, that's impossible. I'm not going to do that. Like, but maybe I'll do the lower version of that. So I think the surprise is I'm stronger and more capable than I thought I would be. Uh, and so that's an awesome surprise. But then also, like, I'm competitive, so I do all have to like put the brakes on and say, Wendy, just listen to your body. See
Yeah,
what your body's telling you.
yeah,
So I think that everybody should do that, because it's so exciting that you're just like, I just want to run. I just want to run. I just want to do it all. I want to,
yeah.
do the big thing out in the mountains. And
Right.
uh, so I think the surprise for me is it's not easy. So I like the challenge, but
Hmm.
I'm super pleased and surprised that I can do more than I thought I would be able to at this early stage.
That's
So
awesome.
that's exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're doing it along. I have a couple people that start. They start usually with a friend. They bring a friend on, right? So you
Yeah.
are also.
Yeah, we started at the same time, and so it's
Yeah,
built some accountability and then a training partner. So because we can
yeah.
get together and do it side by side, and we tend to laugh a lot. Uh,
Which is awesome,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
You should be enjoying what you're doing, right?
yeah. Like just building that joy into it, and especially when you do some kind of like human goof up on your video and you don't reshoot it, you just go meh. And so
Right.
then we just go, hey, she's human just like us.
Right. It's funny you bring that up because there is one on there when you get into the other part of it. I remember someone sent me a message and they're like, Jody, did you know you forgot that? And I'm like, I remember when I shot it, I was like, oh, I have to add this other piece. But then I was like, okay, make a mental note to go back in and like cut it so it's like out of there, right? And so I said, oh, I should go back. And she's like, no, she goes, leave it. Because she goes, that's my favorite is when you just flub up and you're like, okay, carry on. So
Yeah, yeah. Because
just
it's
mix those.
like it's permission for the rest of us,
Yeah.
for all of us to flub up and then carry on, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So I do like that. And I think Joy and I, when we do it together, we very much enjoy the energy that you have in the videos. So that also just, yeah, adding a bit of joy into our workouts. So it's good.
That's good. Awesome. So if you were to share, tell anyone why they should give it a try, what would you say?
So I think the biggest thing is you've probably said this in videos, but with using our weight, this method is for anyone at any age or stage. And I think that people look at you and think, I can't do it. She's tight and strong. And that's just not me. Because I know my sister wants to also start the 12 weeks. She's in the midst of a move, and we're at different stages of life. We're similar age, but I'm communicating to her, and like I would to everyone else, anyone can pick it up and do it, and particularly with the sequential training. So learning the moves, like for example, that reverse jujitsu. So you're
Mhm.
doing it. At first, I didn't know what you were doing. I didn't even know why. And just this week, I did that down and up with the bell, and I was like, I can get up. Like,
Yeah.
and so I started to see how it went together. But if I hadn't learned that move, I would have been frustrated. I possibly would have pulled a muscle trying a movement that I hadn't ever done. So my message really is start where you are, follow the program. I love how you say, they're not modifications as much as this is, for you. So there's all kinds of ways to hit the muscle groups and train the movements differently. So by you present that so well in the videos, and like even for Joy and I training side by side, we're not the same, but we're still able to move through it, and that's the beauty of it. My super strong 23-year-old daughter would benefit. My mother would benefit. Like it's a really cool program if it's done sequentially. Like I would hate for someone to think I'll just jump in and do it, at week 7 or
Yeah.
uh, mimic what's happening in the videos, because I think that becoming confident in the movements is the key to success, and it's why I'm like so excited to get onto the mat with the kettlebells, is because I feel something. I sweat like a banshee. I don't know what that even means, but I sweat and sweat. I feel the muscle not ache, but that I've worked out. I feel that I've worked out, and so that's important to
Awesome.
me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Another piece that I added in later than when you guys started, when I just added, was the two things actually, because I'm like always a work in progress to make it, better. And one was the Calm Strength workbook, which is the mindset piece, and then those two, the Zen ones. And um, just a little take, if you have a takeaway for the workbook for everybody that's listening.
I think the workbook is a good companion in so much as bringing physical and mental together. And I think we can all get discouraged when trying something new. So the workbook just allows the moments of reflection. And if you happen to be a journal writer or a writer, even just checking in, what are the messages I'm telling myself? But then they're targeted and focused as you go through the weeks, which also just builds that strength of mind. And so I love that. But then, like, I love to write, I love to
Right.
journal, and
Yes.
I'm an analyzer and a deep thinker. So uh, and like again, with the workbook also comes the check-ins with you.
Yes.
So if I've kind of figured, well, this is feeling weird, or I got discouraged because my shoulder just felt like it wasn't quite in the right position, then I had that check-in to be able to look at what was I feeling, why is this happening, and then obviously go through some movements and do little tweaks, even though we're not in the same room
Yeah.
together. We can work on the form. So that's been awesome. And I think in the workbook, it also kind of goes into the Zen mobility, that in the workbook, it is a time to sort of meditate.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes into the sort of Zen feeling of moving through with a mindfulness, I guess, that is important, whether we're on the floor just doing mobility or stretching, but also with that strength piece.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome.
it's a great companion. Yeah.
I'm glad. Have you been able to do any of the Zen ones that I sent you? Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Have
I
you?
did it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I love both, like quieting, but
Yeah.
also quieting and moving simultaneously. So I'm
Yeah.
not super good at Zen in a meditative, like a walking meditate or
Yeah.
like flow meditation, and sort of being in that focused space works super well for me. But then at the same time, getting the benefit of mobility and using the joints and moving. So I like a little bit of movement as I'm, just being calm, and so yeah, it's good.
That's good. Well, and then you have somebody on here must be a friend of yours. She
I
says that
know.
she
I can
just
just
can't
imagine.
imagine you guys laughing.
Joanna, yeah. That's hi, Michelle. Friend Michelle in BC. She's on the island, and yeah, we've known each other for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Michelle and I went to school together, yeah, back when I was like 19, and then Joy and Michelle both lived in Vancouver together. So I was kind of their connection, but we've all
Oh.
stayed connected. So I know I saw her earlier saying hi, you two. I was like,
So hi
yeah,
back. That's so
yeah,
awesome. Right?
yeah,
That's so good. And it's been lovely having you and Joy on there and being able to connect with you guys and be here.
yeah.
And I'm so happy that yeah, you're doing great and the check-ins are great. I like them because it brings you into, I get to know you a little bit more and
Mhm.
then help you navigate on movements. So it's a nice space for sure.
Yeah, I think I'm a in person. I prefer to develop relationships, but I would say in this realm, obviously, I do hope that we will meet. So that's but
Yes.
the medium and the way that the videos are structured, it does still feel like you and I are getting to know each other. So even though I really do benefit from being in the same room, this is super convenient because I can schedule the timing. But I also feel like we are in the same room because I always cast it to my TV.
Right?
So you're just as big, you're just as big as I am in the room. Until I get more familiar with it, I like that. So I do say to people who think, oh, I wouldn't like it
Yeah.
because it's videos and it's not in the room. It's awesome the way it's structured that it still feels like a connection. So that's important for people who might shy away from video
Yeah.
work. Yeah.
And I'm so happy to hear that because when I went from, a studio space, and so when I came on, it took me probably a good 8 months for I'm like, how am I gonna be able to get that kind of feel, to people because it's important. And I think the biweekly check-ins definitely help. So then there's a little bit more of that connection. And our plan is when the sun does come out to stay sometimes, I will do something in the park so we can in physical presence meet.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be cool for those of us that, are in the same city. Yeah. Really
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, it would be super great. Well, I don't want to keep any of more of your time because I know you have a busy day, and it's Friday and it's the weekend.
I know.
And yeah, anybody who let me know any questions you have about the 12-week program, and we'll connect. And it's really a start spot. A lot of the people that when they start, I always say, even if it's a 30-minute video, really it's your start spot. So if you don't even get through the video, that's not a fail. That's a knowing that, maybe you got 15 minutes in and then so that's where you go the next time. So it's your start spot. So yeah. All right. Well, thanks everybody for coming. Thank you so much, Wendy, for taking time. You're so sweet.
Yeah.
Because we have not met in physical space yet. When I reached out, and I'm always like, you don't feel like you have to do it, and you're like, yes, and I'm like, okay, let's do it tomorrow.
Love it. Yeah. Love it.
So it's so awesome. So enjoy. Have a great weekend, and I'm sure we'll connect soon. Okay. Thanks. Take care. Bye bye, everyone. Have a great day.